last night, but for the 7th straight game, no Kevin Durant. KD was cheering on teammates from the tunnel, but he hasn't been able to practice since he injured his calf. This weekend, though, Steve Kerr says it's feasible KD could make his debut in Game 3 Wednesday if he can practice tomorrow. We're joined once again by Chris Broussard. Chris, give us a little bit of inside scoop. When do you think we're going to see KD on the court?
Well, look, we saw him in the flip-flops. I wasn't that optimistic, at practice in the flip-flops. I'll say Game 4. Obviously they need him. I mean, this team is being held together by masking tape. I mean, they're falling apart before. We obviously know about KD. Iguodala struggles. Now Clay, Kevon Looney. I mean, and they can't force KD out there. You would say, okay, if Clay can't go for Game 3 or if he's hobbled, let's get KD out there. You can't play with this injury. For him as an individual with his free agency coming up, but also for the team. Because if you force him back early and then he re-injures it.
It's over.
Yeah, so I would say Game 4. Look, they're going to go out there and try to win Game 3. Obviously, they're going to have this next man up, strength in numbers mentality. But you wonder if this could end up being look, we're going to lose Game 3. Because if Clay can't play, if KD's not back, but let's be ready for the next, 3 games or whatever would be left. 4, 5, 6, 7. So this looks like it's going to be a long series. I would think that Toronto, we'll find out today about Clay's MRI.
Yep.
But one thing it showed me yesterday when they started DeMarcus Cousins, they're not playing. They're not buying into the whole, the ball movement and player movement is better without KD and DeMarcus. It is, but they want their all-star starting 5.
Right.
The fact that I was shocked that they threw Boogie Cousins in there again. Right. And the fact that they did that shows you as soon as KD can play, as soon as he's ready, they're going to put him out there. They're not going to worry about what the series or the rust. And I cannot see Kevin Durant coming back like Boogie did as far as he's only playing 12 minutes, only playing 18 minutes.
Right.
I think when Kevin Durant comes, he starts immediately as he should, and he's like a focal point, and he's going to play close to 30 minutes, if not more. Like, that's what superstars do when they come back. You rarely see them come back and be a role player.
Yeah, build up. For me, I don't think he's going to play. I think this is gamemanship that they haven't ruled him out.
In the series?
In the series.
Wow.
I'm looking at him move around in the tunnel. I'm watching him on the court for shoot around in those flip-flops. Skip, that doesn't look like a guy that's going to be ready to play Game 3.
I agree.
That doesn't look like a guy that's going to be ready to play Game 4. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just looking at the way he moves. Right. Skip, he don't even have on gym shoes. He's not even shooting. Steve Kerr said, well, I think he's shooting on his own. He's throwing the ball because he doesn't want to get up on the toes to shoot a shot.
And that's true. The thing.
And so I'm like, and y'all say he's going to be ready in 2 days? Nah, I don't see that happen. Look, I believe that if they force him out there, there's a greater risk, whatever the injury is, Skip. I don't know if they're giving us the full extent of the injury. But I believe if they force him out there for Game 3 or Game 4, there's a greater risk that he re-injures whatever the injury is. And he has free agency looming. With the Warriors, he can sign 5 for $221. Or anywhere else, he can go 4 years at 164. Now, for me, to leave $57 million on the table, that's asking an awful lot for a guy. But, Skip, I don't know.
What am I going to tell you about Anthony Davis and your Pelicans? You're leaving that same amount on the table.
Well, what about Kawhi?
Okay.
Leaving 80, if you go all the way back to San Antonio, have 30 to leave there,
well, here's
50
the
to leave
difference.
Toronto.
San Francisco is really nice, the bay, they got water, you know what I'm saying? They got Silicon Valley.
They got it all.
So,
it's a great place.
And he's heavily invested.
He is
I don't really know how heavily invested AD is in the community in New Orleans. But
He used
that's
to
not
be.
here though. We're not talking about that. He don't want his smoothies anymore. We tired of smoothies.
Oh.
You done tried to seduce him with smoothies. We talking about Kevin Durant.
I don't think so.
We done tried to talk about Kevin Durant. I don't believe Kevin Durant plays in Game 3 or Game 4.
I am leaning toward you on this one. The signs keep telling me no. They're just gamesmanshipping the opposition, trying to make them worry about, well, should we prepare or not for him? I don't even know how Golden State prepares for both him and DeMarcus back in the lineup. It's just crazy.
Yes.
It's so hard on a basketball team. You know, the psyche and the flow and they were in such a great rhythm against Portland, obviously, and going back to the last 2 games against Houston. And to throw these 2 huge weapons back into the offense, and they're both ball dominant. And remember, DeMarcus Cousins has been among the, I think he finished 2nd one year in usage rate in the league. It's unbelievable.
Right.
The ball has to go through him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And after a while last night, it was going through him on every possession. Okay, there's a big game being played above the game. And Kevin won't like that I'm going to say this, but he has to have, as he watches in the locker room, I still don't know why he won't just put on civvies and go down there and just sit on the bench with his teammates and contribute to the huddles, or clap his hands or scream something at Drake, or, you know, do something to contribute on the floor, because he just have you ever heard of anybody just staying in the locker room? I've never seen it before. But he comes out in the tunnel when they're coming up the tunnel at halftime and after the game. Okay, here's the game within a game, and this is what Kevin won't like. He has to have, watching TV in the locker room, mixed emotions about what's happening, because he is human, and you've brought this up, and he took you to task for it, but he's got to be rooting for his teammates, and then there's this little tiny part in the back of his mind that's rooting against his teammates, because his legacy is on the table, right? He's human. And I get it. You know, all your better judgment, your better instincts tell you, I'm for my guys, and I love to see my guys gut it out last night and win that game. But if they had lost that game, it puts you in the power position, man, right?
And for me, Skip, I believe if Kevin Durant's playing, the Warriors are up 0-2 anyway. If Kevin Durant's
Warriors up 2-0?
Yo, they're up. The Warriors would be up on the Raptors.
Okay, all right.
They would be absolutely
Okay,
up.
so if he's playing, so you're saying it would just be business.
Oh, yeah,
Like
nobody,
4 or 5 games.
Nobody would care. It'd just be another.
Look, there's no question that this series has a lot more juice. And again, you hate because it's unfortunate for KD that he's hurt.
He's not there.
But now there's really a question: is who's going to win?
Yeah,
which wouldn't exist
with
before.
Clay, KD being injured, Kevon Looney. Okay, you got at some point in time, you can't keep winning final games, Skip, with your 3rd, with your 5th, 6th, and 7th options playing major minutes.
Okay. Which brings us to Steph Curry. And I still say he's also human, and there's a part of him, maybe even a bigger part of him, that does not want Kevin to return, because he has his opportunity to show the world, I don't need him. I can still do it. I won 2 MVPs back-to-back, and the second one was unanimous. And I'll show you, and we talked about this earlier, I'm going to bring it up again. It was so weird last night. Before the game started, he is suffering dehydration.
That was strange.
It's just strange. When have you ever heard that? A guy who's played in, 108 playoff games and 24 finals games. You know how your body works. You know how to get ready for a game. I know how to get ready for a marathon. You have to drink, right?
Yeah.
It's how you get ready. You have to drink the right stuff and the right amount of that stuff, and he knows what that is.
But you also don't.
So you think it was nerves?
Yeah.
But what you don't
like you're just sweating, so, and he doesn't even look like he sweats, but you know, you're losing water, you're oozing out your liquids.
You know when you sweat more?
Yeah.
When you start to worry, you start to think. Because when you start playing Super Bowl, you didn't say, man, I'm playing the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, the Super Bowl, that's a big, that's a Super Bowl. You approach it like a normal game. When you start letting the magnitude of the moment, it's like, okay, KD's not playing. And now, it's only going to get worse, because guess what? If Clay doesn't play, so now you down KD and Clay.
But if Clay and KD are down, to me, there's no pressure on Steph.
Really?
Oh, you got to be.
Because who would
on.
expect them to win
Okay,
without
but if
KD
he does,
and Steph?
if he does,
it'd be tremendous. And I'm with, because I've said, look, when KD went to Golden State, I feel like we've been robbed of seeing this Steph, right? For the last, 4 years, 3 years? Like, we haven't seen this Steph.
But my man across the table is making the point, if they pull this off now, Steph could make a case he's a top 10 all-time player.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If they win, you talking about without Clay for...
Without Clay and KD?
Even without Clay for just one game. Oh, that would be...
How you keep him out of that?
As much as I like Steph Curry, I can't imagine they could win this series without KD and Clay.
But if they do...
If they did, it'd be incredible. It'd be incredible. But here's the thing, the one thing I'll say about Steph, and this is different from a lot of superstars, he had the juice when Draymond was texting KD and let's go meet with him.
He could have shut it down.
He had the juice where he could have went to Bob Myers and said, look,
no,
we want to do it. We should have won this year.
That's
we
correct.
gave it away. We want to. We don't. As great as KD is, we don't need him. And he didn't. So whether you think that's a positive or negative, but I really think he wants KD back.
But
doesn't that show weakness? Like, okay, I know priority is winning another championship.
Maybe in sports, you know, it's great in life, the humility, the selflessness.
But you notice what I'm saying? Now, if KD and Clay doesn't come back, and Steph Curry loses, everybody will say nobody expected him to win. But I know a guy that played without his second and third best players, and nobody gave him that benefit of the doubt.
But let's be honest, Shannon. Nobody has put Steph Curry on LeBron's level.
Hold on. Y'all keep telling
especially back in 2015.
Hold on. Y'all keep telling me if Steph Curry gets another title, he might be equal to, if not better than LeBron.
Well, this is coming up. This is what's been happened since then.
I'm just,
and LeBron didn't win the championship. Once Kyrie and Kevin Love went down, did anybody expect them to win? When they went up 2-1, maybe.
I know a guy who was up 2-1 without Kyrie and Kevin Love in his house for Game 4. And some guy named Iguodala just took him out of the game. I don't know what
happened. Hot in here, gentlemen.
That two-time MVP.
I think he had 36 that game.
He need to bring it down.
We're going to have to leave it here, guys.
You would expect them to win.
Hey, he the guy. That's your guy. You voted for him unanimously.
Chris,
you put that on your resume.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Okay, because he light-skinned
really appreciate it.
Yeah, y'all got together.
Chris gets the competitive juices flowing on a Monday morning. All right, up next, what was the biggest reason for the Warriors' win?